Greetings, this is Eduardo Jumbo. In this tutorial, I'll show you how to compare two files using Diffutils diff command. So basically what the diff command is, it will compare two files and it will display the differences between those two files. The GNU Diffutils, I'll come back to that in a second. It's actually a package of multiple applications. We only care about diff command in this particular case. So what happens is if the files are identical, it will not produce an output. If they're binary files, then they will be reported only if there are differences, meaning they're different. That's the only thing it will report. It won't actually explain what the difference is. So for this particular tutorial, I'm going to pre-create the files just to make the tutorial a little bit faster. And also, I'm not going to use, I'll try to use I'll just use the default settings. However, if you want, you can go and use some arguments. Sorry, I have some ants here. I was outside 3 times today in the chicken coop. So ants must have gone all over me when I was chasing the girls around. So the output is actually called a diff or a patch. So what a patch is it's just a set of differences. And a binary file is a file that is not a text file. So for example, that could be a photo. That's a perfect binary file. Obviously, a media, audio, video, those are all binary files. So to follow along for this story, if you want to make everything on Scratch by yourself, you need a bitmap editor. For example, here you can use the GNU image manipulation program. That's GIMP. It's a free open source program. For text editor, you can use any text editor you want. You can also use some of the ones I recently reviewed, like the Apache NetBeans IDE and the Guinea Lightweight IDE. Because I'm going to be using a command line, this is very helpful. I'll give you an example later. For example, you have SSH, which means shell access. You can go on your server, and this is a quick way you'll be able to log in and check on files. So I'm thinking of the context of web files, but you can also do it for other files as well, and I'll explain that when we get to it. And obviously the diff file comparison utility. So as I said before, you can't get diff by itself. You have to get it as part of a package. And this is how I'm creating the files, and I'll show you this, all of this pretty simple. So because this is mostly in the command line, actually this is all in command line. So if you want to run some of the things using a graphic user interface GUI, you can do it here. And I'll also explain what this means. So for example, if you get something like this, 2,3C2,3, what that means that lines 2 and 3 are different, and when you get the less than symbol, that means the second file is the one that's different. If you get rid of this one, that means the first file is the one that's different. And as you can see here, some screenshots. This is the live stream video. So this will be replaced after live stream ends. And of course, you can get the GNU Diffutils from the official website. It's cross-platform compatible for Unix, Linux, and Mac OS, and obviously Windows. And it's also open source. It's obviously licensed under the GNU General Public License version 3 or later. It's a copyleft license, so you should consult the license for more specific details. But it does allow commercial use modification dispute and making some details proprietary. Okay, so this is their website, the Diffutils website, and as I said before, it comes as a package. So in the package you get diff. This is the focus of this tutorial, but you get other commands such as CMP. You get diff3. So the difference between diff3 and diff is diff3 allows you to show differences in 3 files instead of just 2. And then you have sdiff, which is for merging. So don't worry about merging and the 3 files. In a future tutorial, I'll show you another application you can use, but you can also use the command, and just be aware of that as well. Okay, now let's go and check out the, let me actually minimize this. So here's my folder here, and I have some binary files, the images. You see I have a AVF file and a JPEG file. And this one where it says one copy, this is an exact copy of this one. And although they're exactly the same between the AVF and the JPEG, the only difference is the formats that were used to save those binary files. And obviously, AVF is completely different, as you can see visually. So, of these three files, these first two are the same. The only difference is the name. And the third one is different. So I'll prove it to you. This is what I said. You can use a text editor if you want. So let's open up in the text editor here. Let me zoom in here. So this is test3.txt. You can see it says, check out this awesome feature on ojamboshop.com for taking a course in the header bar. And if we go to the second one, you see it says the same thing, except here it says on ojambo.com for making a donation. So basically lines 2 and 3 are the ones that are different. Lines 1 and 4 are still the same as test3.txt. If we go to test 1, it's exactly the same as the second one. Okay, so as I said, you can create this in any text editor you want, or you can use the command line, and you can expand the source on the article to create this files. Obviously, you can create these files as well. The bitmap images, you can create them in any graphic editor you want. Okay, so let's get started here. So I'm going to compare two files here: diff test one, and test 2. Okay, so now because they're exactly the same, with the exception with the name, you see they found no difference. Now, if I compare this with 3, you see it says 2, 3, C, 2, and 3. What does that mean? So that means line 2 and line 3 are the ones where are the ones that actually, let me open this up again so you can see what the difference is. Yeah, so if you can see right here, it's telling, let me zoom in. So basically it's saying line 2 and 3 are the ones that are different. If you remember, you see on ojambo.com and for taking a course, this is on test 3. And you see that's where the difference is. It detected the difference. If we go to test 1, for example, you see it says on ojambo.com or for making a donation. So 2 and 3 are the ones that are different. So that's what that means. And then if you for example, this 3C2, that one means that it's on column 3. So for example here, the word on is 1 column, space here is 2 columns, and this is 3. And same here, 4 is one column, space is another column, and 3, this is the column here. So that's what that means. Okay, now I can also compare binary files. For example, I'm going to compare these two. They're exactly the same except the format is different. Now but obviously they're different. So if I say 1.avf and 1.jpg, you see it says binary files, they differ. That's all it's going to tell us. It is going to tell you how they differ or anything like that. Now, this one here, one copy, it's exactly the same. You see nothing, there's no output here. And obviously 2 is very different. And it's very different. It says they differ. Now, you can also you can also do folder comparisons. For example, I'm going to create a folder called 1, and I'll make another one called 2. And I'm going to copy test 1 into the 1 folder, and I'm going to copy test 2 here. No, 3, because 3 into 2. Okay, now we can confirm that. You see in 1 there's 1 here, and in 2 there should be 3. Yeah, there we go. Now if I compare this, I can also diff the folders 1 and 2. You see it tells me that test1.test is only in the first folder, and test3 the text is only in the second folder, which is the 2. So this is important, for example, when you are, like, I get hired sometimes to fix websites which have been compromised or hacked. So what I do is I will go and I'll run, for example, the diff command. For example, if I'll run the diff command and I'll see what has changed. So one way is to, for example, let's say it's a WordPress site. What I can do is I'll find the version of WordPress. Let's say it's version I don't know, 6.8, okay, and that has been compromised. So what I'll do is I'll go and get WordPress 6.8, and then I'll do a comparison of the core files. So if any of the core files have changed, especially recently, let's say WordPress 6.8 came out, say, last year, and these ones have just changed very recently, then I know something is, something's definitely off there. So that's one way. So then I'll focus there, because I just recently worked on a Zencart. It's an e-commerce platform. It's open source as well, and it had close to 6,000 files. So could you imagine if, I know some of them are graphics, but could you imagine if a site like that got compromised? It would take me like a year to go through, comb through each individual file to find out, which one has been compromised. So by doing something like this, I could, by using diff, I would be able to see which files have been changed, or why they were changed. Now, so we can also do individual files in folders. For example, this one, I can say test, and this one I say test. See, then it will tell us the same as before. You see the less than arrow, and then the greater than arrow. So you know which one is from which files which. As for example, you can also do the inverse. Let me actually do a simple one here. Actually, I'll just type it again. So I can do diff test 3.text and test 1. So you see the inverse is still the same. It still tells me that it's you see the arrows now changed. The direction of the arrows also changed. So so you can also do that as well. And of course, you can also you can look at the manual. So I'll look at the manual very quickly for diff. And you can see here the options. There's normal, there's quiet, there's S, which means report identical files. So we'll check that one. And then this one, you see the num, it outputs the num. The default is 3 lines of, so obviously if you want to have more lines, you can you can put a number there as well from the default. You see here it says U. So there's lots more in the manual. I don't need that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare 2 files which are the same. So if one more time, test 1 and test 2. See, those are the same, right? But you remember, if we use, oh no, so it was S. You see? It tells us that they're identical. Instead of just this one where I didn't output anything, it tells us they're identical. So you might want that. So that's one way to check. Now, if we check something that's different, like number 3, no change there. So, but if we use the C this time, you see, it gives us something different. It tells us 1 and 4 are the same. Line 1 and line 4 are the same, and obviously 2 and 3, you see it gives us these exclamation marks. That's where the difference are. So that's another visual way. I said there's so many options. I can pass any arguments, but that's not the purpose of this tutorial. This one was just to show you that you can use diff to compare 2 files or 2 folders very quickly. And of course, remember what a patch is? A patch is the set of differences, or a diff. So you can save it. So for example, if you want to save this, I just do this and I'll call it patch 1, patch 1.3, and I'll save it as a text file, and the patch is here. So you can open up in your favorite text editor, and you can see here. Let me zoom in. So you see this? It also tells us the date the file was created. So you can see when these files were created, and then so when you get this, it means that so basically because I did the first one, so this it's comparing it from the first one to the third one. So that means 1 and 4 exactly the same. See, this is line 1, line 4, line 1, line 4, they're exactly the same. And obviously the middle part, line 2 and 3, are the ones that are different. Okay, so that's just a quick overview of using the Diffutils diff command. So, and now you learned something. Oh, you know what a patch is. A patch is just a set of differences, and you can save it this way. So in a future tutorial, I'll show you a graphic tool you can use where you'll be able to do three-way comparisons, including folders, and they'll be color-coded. Because this one is fine, because sometimes this tool is also handy in that I said if you, for example, if you have to SSH into a server and to see what's going on or something's wrong, this is one way you can go and look it up, look up to see what files have changed and where they have changed, instead of having to go through, like I said, say 6,000 or more files. Okay, so let's go back to the article one more time. To get the GNU Diffutils, you go to gnu.org, you search for Diffutils, or you can get this from the article. And there's also other ways you can get downloads of this. You see here, you can get from HTTPS server, which is the one I recommend. I don't make HTTP FTP because those are not secure. Yeah. So for example, I said I'm in Linux. I have a Linux distro. I'm using Fedora, so I can just install it from their repositories. But there's other tools. For example, Brew. I believe Brew now is cross-platform as well. You can install it on Linux, Unix, Mac OS, and Windows. So you should be able to go and get your installed diff that way as well for the command line. But I'm saying is that in the future tutorial, I'll show you a graphic way to do that. So be sure to subscribe, like, follow, leave comments for more frequent content. And every day I'm hosting a live stream. So what you do is you go here to the watch live, and you can see the upcoming tutorials, and the time is also there. As you can see just below that, there's a time. And for each of the articles, obviously before the live stream is completed, there will be a little snippet of code, like up here, as you can see. It tells you what date and time and where to watch it. Okay, so if you enjoyed this, consider supporting me. Purchase one of my WordPress plugins at ojambo.com, enroll in my programming courses at ojamboshop.com. Buying my programming books on Amazon, search for Edward Ojambo, links in the description. Hiring me for your programming and app development needs at ojamboservices.com. And becoming a donor at ojambo.com/donate. So you can see here there's a donate link here, but it's also in the header. It's much more easier with the icon. So this way it's a fixed header. You can see scroll up and down. So that's the easiest way to donate. So I will stop here and see you in the next one. Thank you.